Today's episode is going to be so special because I'm finally talking about something that is like a full circle moment. Like I used to watch other people and their business journeys have these full circle moments where they talked about like something that happened in the past and how that was the milestone, like that was the moment that changed it all. And I can't wait to tell you and share with you all the details of what I'm doing with this full circle moment, which I'm going to use this episode to do all of that and share the details. But first, I do feel like this story is going to hopefully shift your perspective and rewire some of your thoughts on some things. And that's my whole intention here is I want you to, like, anytime you're listening to someone's story or my story, it's like a moment for you to contemplate where you can go bigger or like where you can do it more your way or something like that. So all of that to say, with this full circle moment, I've been like unintentionally manifesting this, dreaming this up and like preparing for this without even realizing it. And it's been 2 years. So I'm co-hosting my first ever retreat. I'm like so nervous, so excited. And I'm also like, why did I wait this long to do this? Like, I can't wait. Like, I'm doing an in-person retreat for women in business, for female thought leaders that are building their brand online and building their empires. Okay, let me tell you the story about how this came to fruition because this is really crucial. If you looked at my life in 2024, probably would have never guessed, like especially the beginning of 2024, you would have never guessed that I'd be where I am today, like sitting in this moment, recording this podcast episode, because I didn't even have an official business. Like I had no clue what I was doing in early 2024. So I want to take you back because, like I said, the retreat that I'm co-hosting is not just like an event that I planned. It's a full circle. Everything happened on purpose. Everything happened on perfect timing, the way it's supposed to. And it was this like culmination of an entire journey that accidentally turned me into the woman, like the leader and the business owner that I am today as I record this. Okay. I need to go back actually into 2020 because this all needs to be shared. And I've shared this many times, but I need to share it again for this to make total sense. So it's 2020, you know the year, we're in the pandemic. Life is at a screeching halt. I was a med device rep at the time, so I was working in the operating room. I was in surgery every single day, and I was doing elective surgeries. So all of that got canceled. And so I had nothing to do. Like I was at home. At the time, I was living with my sister, which best year of my freaking life living with her. It was so much fun. And at the time, she already had her Turn Up Dance Fitness business. Like it was already successful. It was already doing well. However, I will say the pandemic made her business blow up even bigger, like actually explode in the best way. But that's like a story for another time. We're not going to get into that. But meanwhile, I had nothing to do. So if we talk about like energetics during the pandemic, I lost my mind. Like truly, it's the moment that I actually got on antidepressants for the first time in my life. Actually, not the first time in my life. I digress. However, it was a really tough time for me mentally. But on the other hand, if I had nothing to do, I thought to myself, I'm going to start Beachbody because I knew what Beachbody was. My sister had done it before. I had actually attempted it before, but I was never like all in on it. But I knew that was going to require me to start posting on social media. And at that time, I had posted on social media for sure, like all of us had, but not in a way where I was like a leader or a business owner or anything like that, selling anything. And so I thought to myself, I'm just going to make this fun, but I'm going to document the journey of being a network marketer for Beachbody. And something happened that I did not expect in this journey. As you know, when you're a network marketer, like you are recruiting women to work in your downline. Like you're recruiting women to be on your team where you all sell a supplement or whatever the product is. And people have, there's like such a stigma around that. People have so much to say. I have so much to say on that too. However, the core of this story is that my realization from working for Beachbody was that I fell in love with leading women. I fell freaking head over heels in love with it. Because up to that point, I had never done that other than like being a captain on my college basketball team. Like leading women in this sense was so fun because I truly felt like we weren't just selling supplements. This was like all about growth in confidence, growth in self-belief, like stretching ourselves to our edges and all the while strengthening our bodies and our minds and our spirits and just being brave enough to show up publicly and do all of that. Like that was what we were doing. And I loved it. Like these conversations I could have all day. And I literally thought to myself, this is what I like doing. Like this is, I've never felt like this about something where I can make money and I actually really enjoy it. So eventually I left Beachbody and I joined a startup network marketing company, where I actually built a 6-figure income with this company. It was insane. But I will say, like, as a disclaimer, I worked my ass off. Like, if you were to ask my husband, who was not my husband at the time, I was always in our guest bedroom, which is at the time we had like this apartment in downtown Raleigh. It was so cute. And we had a guest bedroom and there was a desk in there. That's where I did all of my work. And it was like a tight space, but I'm not complaining at all. It was a great setup. And I was at that desk at all hours of the day, like attempting to work my network marketing job, even though I still had a 9 to 5. So anyway, back to the story. I was so successful because I worked my ass off, like no doubt about it. And I ended up like walking stages at the conferences. I collected multiple awards. I won trips that, looking back now, were basically retreats. Like there was a couple trips I went on that I would definitely call them retreats now. But at the time I was just like, wow, this is really cool. Like I went to like Park City, Utah. I think that's what it's called, right? And a couple times, and I like stayed in mansion homes for retreats. And I one time like won this trip where we went to this super like 5-star luxurious hotel where we got pampered in, like, we had spa days and we did workouts. It was honestly a dream come true. So all of that to say, I remember I like woke up one day, not really, but like kind of. And I thought to myself, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm basically a glorified employee and I'm selling supplements and I'm building a business, but it's not really mine. Like, someone could take this away from me. Like, that's how I felt. Like, if this company went and crashed and burned, I would have no business. And that's not, like, what am I doing? Like, I don't want to do that. So I walked away. Like, I walked away from a 6-figure income, which, when I say that now, like, I don't even think I realized I did that in the moment, but that's like a big deal. And I had like thousands of women who are in my downline. And I started to create courses and my own thing. Like I started to build my own thing, except I had no idea what I was doing. Like I was calling them courses and I was like bringing women in, but I did not even know what the world of online courses was. I didn't even know that it existed. I didn't know people were like building these huge brands and empires from social media, from just like coaching and mentoring. And when I did discover all of that, my mind was freaking blown. I was like, whoa, dude, this is wild. And I shared this on my Instagram stories the other day, but I remember when I first started to discover that all of this was going down, like there was a whole world that existed in this. There was one mentor that I found that I loved her content. Like every single post got to me. And so I DM'd her and I said, what are the details on joining your group? Which was a mastermind, but I didn't even know what mastermind was at the time. And I remember she messaged me back and she said, this is going to be $8,888 per month, or you can pay in full for $88K. And I was pissed. I was like, what are you talking about, bitch? Like, what do you mean that that's what you're charging for coaching? Like, you must, like, I hope you change my life. And so I called my sister. I remember being like, this woman is absurd. Like, she's charging this. But all at the same time, I remember saying to my sister, I also feel wildly inspired that she is charging this amount and people are paying it. Like if she can do it, I can do it. That's how my mindset works too. Like I never, like, comparison obviously exists in my mind, but I also look at women who are doing big things as proof that I can do it too. Like that is, I don't know why I'm wired that way, but that is how I see it. And I get competitive where I'm like, okay, if she can do that, like I'm going to do it better. I'm not there yet, but I will be one day. However, I also I don't subscribe to like just charging high ticket just to charge high ticket. But I do know this mentor now. I actually have been in her world up to this point, and she's super fierce. Like she's really good. Anyway, all of that to say, I did not join her group at the time because that price point was like, I couldn't even fathom spending that kind of money. But here is where all of this shifts. So my sister, like fast forward to 2024. So I had left my network marketing company. I had left my team. I was running these courses, and now we're in 2024, and it's January of 2024. And all the while, just so you guys know, like I had a remote job with the same company that I was a med device rep with. So I still had income, just so you know, but I was working remotely. I was working from home. So my sister had invested in this year-long mastermind. And I didn't know what masterminds were, but I knew that she had done like some of this before, and I thought it was super cool. But for some reason, I always counted myself out of that. Like, that's not for me. Like, I'm not good enough type thing to be in that room, even though that wasn't like the actual thought. But looking back now, I can see that that was a limiting belief. And in January, the woman who was hosting the mastermind that she joined, she actually slid into my DMs and she said, "Why aren't you joining the mastermind with your sister?" Which is kind of like super cool that she did that. Like real ballsy, but also like, damn, like she just held nothing back and she just came into my DMs and said, "Why aren't you joining?" And I said, "Well, I actually have talked to my sister about this and I think it looks amazing, but I clicked on your sales page for the mastermind and it says that it's only for 6 and 7 figure earners and I'm nowhere near that in my business." And her immediate response was like, "Do you have time to hop on a call sometime soon?" And I was like, like, okay. And I will also say I was a little bit terrified at what the price was going to be. Like, obviously I could have asked my sister, but I was terrified about this investment because I had never invested high ticket. And I was like, are all these coaches like charging $8,000 a month? So I was terrified, but I'll never forget that call. So I eventually took a call with her and I remember sitting in the parking lot. I'm in the driver's seat. I brought my laptop with me. I got there super early because I was actually going into a hair appointment. But I wanted to be super professional for this call. And I show up and she's like so chill. She's so warm. Like she's so inviting. And she told me, like, from what I've seen from you, your leadership alone is going to elevate this mastermind. Like, I want you in the room. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm there. Like, sign me up. Like, I was super inspired by this call. So this mastermind that she was hosting actually came with 3 in-person retreats. And now that I understand masterminds deeply and I've been a part of a couple of others, I think that's insanely badass. Like 3 in-person retreats in 1 year that come with the mastermind, like that's unreal to me. And so the first retreat was in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I remember walking in to the door and they were like hosting in this really nice home. And we didn't stay the night in this home, but they hosted in this really nice home. And I remember walking through the doors and I thought to myself, like, where am I? What am I doing? I do not belong here. Of course, I had like the safety net of my sister being in the room with me, but I thought to myself, like, these women are so far ahead of me. I don't even know what business model words were. Like, I didn't even know that business model was a word or a phrase. And let alone did I have one. And I remember going into that was March of 2024. And I had literally purposefully launched one of my courses before that retreat because I knew that I was going to need something to talk about. Like, it was chaotic the way that I was like doing all of this. Like, I did not have a structure. I did not have a strategy. I didn't know what the F I was doing, but 3 retreats. So it started with that one in March. And over the year of 2024, everything changed. These retreats changed my entire life, truly. And I can say that even more in hindsight because I'm like, without that experience, without those retreats, I would not be where I'm at right now. Getting in the room with women who were playing this game at such a high level, they did this thing where like you get in front of the room and you get into a hot seat and you get coached by everyone in the room, which I didn't even get in the hot seat until the final retreat because I was terrified of it. But watching these women normalize 6, 7, 8 figures by simply just being the most aligned, embodied version of themselves, it truly cracked me open. It changed my entire life. And 2024 became like my initiation into what I'm doing now, into my mission that I hold now. And then 2025, because of 2025 became my 6-figure year. Like we're at the end of 2025 right now, and I have a real ass business, you guys. Like, whoa, like I got to pay a lot of taxes and stuff. Like literally, like I just talked to my CPA and he's like, this is going to come out for your taxes. And I'm like, WTF. Also, it's not a big deal because I'm really strong at budgeting, especially my business money. But this year, my leadership leveled up. My identity completely expanded. And I quantum leapt into this reality because of the retreats. And now I look at 2026 like, I'm going to make $1 million in 2026. Bet. Like, it's my turn, bitches. And I'm bringing you with me. Shoot, but you just got to come with me. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that because I know where this started. And it started with those retreats. So this gets even better. One of the girls that I met in that room at the retreats in the mastermind with me, who I would say like we casually vibed together like throughout 2024. We weren't like super close, to be totally honest, at all, like through the entire year. But we got along well enough. Anyway, somehow in 2025, she ended up becoming one of my absolute best friends. Like this last year, she is definitely like, I would say she's one of my best friends. And we have learned to not only lean on each other through the entrepreneurial journey, like we were both running online businesses, but because I met her in 2024 and I started talking to her more in 2025, she actually helped me a lot through real life. And 2025 was one of the hardest years personally for me that I've ever had. And I learned like she's a really good friend for me because she understands me on multiple levels. And we've both now built she's built 2 6-figure businesses, and I've also built 2 6-figure businesses if you take into consideration the network marketing business. And I also like deeply respect how she treats her clients. Like the way she runs her company, she keeps her rooms small so that she can go above and beyond and be super intentional for the people in front of her. She's also like one of the most organized people. Like she's super structured. She's brilliant at business strategy. And she teaches and coaches on a signature framework that she has come up with. And I've looked at her client results and they're insane. They're absolutely insane. And I just have so much respect for her because of how far she's come, but also like she holds herself to a really high standard and she expects that of her clients. And I love that. So one day, like I think this was probably just a few months ago, we were texting each other and we were like, what if we hosted a retreat together? Like, what if we like co-hosted a retreat? Like we know the power of retreats. And what if we created the kind of experience that changed our lives for other women? Like, what if we gave women that same milestone moment that we've had? And so we did. We planned it, we booked an Airbnb, and now at the end of January, we are co-hosting our first ever retreat together. And I will say, like, putting our geniuses together, this retreat it's highly intentional. The timing is highly intentional. The structure is highly intentional. Say highly intentional one more time. Swear to God, Chandler. But because we want 2026 to be the year that everything changes for you, that is why this is set up the way that it's set up. So we plan to go through your business model. Obviously, like her name is Karina. She will be structuring those conversations, but I'm obviously going to be helping because now I actually know what a business model is. I've come a long way, you guys. But then I'm going to be bringing in my brilliance, my genius of content strategy and content authenticity and creativity when it comes to your content. And we're not even just going to talk about it. We're going to make some content together, which is so freaking fun. Like I can't wait. Like we were creating the itinerary the other day and we have on there like pack a couple of outfits just for content. That's how fun this is about to be. But we're also going to dive into like your mindset and your leadership development, your vision for the entire year. And all of this because we want to set up 2026 for you at the beginning of the year so that you can absolutely dominate. And I will say, you never know who you're going to meet in these rooms, especially these rooms that are a little bit more intimate. Like you have to actually get to know people and you never know what breakthrough is going to hit you. You never know what connection is going to absolutely change your life. Like my friendship with Karina has changed my life. And so this retreat could be that line in the sand moment where you quantum leap. And this could be the moment where you have like that statement of everything shifted after this. And so all of that to say, just some of the details, like we booked this luxury mansion Airbnb, like we went big on this on purpose because it's super important that you feel abundant in this room. Like we want you to feel different than you do in your 4 walls at home or like anywhere else. Like we want you to feel like, wow, I'm rich. Like that is super important. And also, we are sticklers for this because this is what we would want. Like we're setting up this retreat in all the ways that we would want it. Like especially staying at the Airbnb that we're renting. We didn't have that opportunity at our retreats and we want to provide that to you because that is like I think that's really important. So every woman that comes is also going to get her own bedroom. There are 7 bedrooms. Like this mansion is insane. And that's also on purpose. Like I want you to have space at the end of the day to call your family, to decompress. Like obviously you're not going to be there for a full week, but even like after what we go through during these days, it's important that you have solitude at the end of the day and that you can be comfortable in your own bedroom. We also capped the spots at 7 on purpose because this is not like set up for us to make money. This is set up for us to make impact on you and have this insane experience with you. And if we have a ton of people in the room, then it gets diluted. So we want to make sure that we give you undivided attention, customized coaching, et cetera, et cetera. Additionally, your meals are going to be covered. Like you don't have to worry about food at all while you're there. We're going to do all of this. Like you just pay for your ticket to the retreat, you pay for your plane ticket, and then everything else is taken care of. We're going to have snacks, of course. Like I'm a foodie, Karina's a foodie, snacks are required. We're also going to work out together. Like this is going to be really freaking cool. We're going to exercise. And then one of the mornings, I'm actually going to lead you through a stretched session, which is one of my like trademarked opportunities. And it's like a somatics morning session that is just going to like open and feed your body and your mind and your business and just open channels for creativity. It's going to be amazing. Whew. We want you to like truly feel not just like elevated, but we want to spoil you. We want you to feel inspired. We want you to feel expanded and taken care of. Like we want you to come here and be spoiled by us and surrounded by people who like just get you. You know what I mean? And we've been planning every single detail, every single lesson, every single experience and conversation. And I know without question, like I could almost guarantee this or your money back. This retreat is going to change your life. Absolutely going to change your life. So I'm going to leave you with this. If you don't have anything going on at the end of January, we start January 29th, which is a Thursday. Your initiation dinner will be that night. If you're craving like a catapult moment, and if you're ready to like fully take a step into this version of you, the woman who leads and sells and creates and grows at a whole new level, then this retreat is for you. And it's going to blow your mind and stretch you in the best way possible. So go ahead and slide in my DMs, actually. I'm not going to link it because I want to make sure that this is right for both of us. So slide in my DMs if this is something that you are potentially interested in, and we can have the conversation around you being in attendance at this retreat. I would love to have you, and I hope that we can have the conversation. Again, if you slide into my DMs, I just want you to know, like, I don't want to have to convince you. Like, that's not my style. Like, if I have to convince you, then that's not fun for me. So if you have questions and you're still not sure, just know that it's totally safe to come into my DMs. I'm never going to try to sell you on this, like, ever. I don't want to have to do that. So I don't do that. And I also understand, like, I'm a girl who sometimes has a lot of questions. So feel free to slide in my DMs and we can talk about it. And I will leave it there. I hope you have a beautiful day. I love you so much. Mwah.